Today on Partner Talks, we have a returning guest, Michael Dohr. Michael, introduce yourself and tell the folks who you are and what you do.
Happy to. Yeah, thanks for having me again. I'm Michael. I'm the CEO here at mscrm-addons.com. I've been working in the dynamic CRM space for 20 years. So my 20th anniversary is coming up in March. So 2 decades almost. And basically in those 20 years, I went through all of it, right? I started as a developer, did some coding, business development, moved into sales, even a little bit of marketing, which is good in the end, right? You get a lot of different views on our ecosystem. And since 2015, as the COO, I'm now mainly focusing on company strategy and growth.
So when we look at mscrm-addons, it's an interesting case study because you've been an ISV in this space, like as you said, for over 20 years. Talk a little bit about what was your first product and where is your company grown to today?
Yes, so we started as an ISV for Microsoft Dynamics CRM back in 2005, so 21 years coming up. And the first product was actually one that is still around. It's a solution we built to support customers with any kind of document processes, document design, delivery, and automation. It was called Word Mail Merge. Meanwhile, it's more commonly known as Documents Core-Pack. But it's kind of fascinating that the same problems that was there 20 years ago is still around. But bottom line, like back in 2005 and still valid today, we always, try to focus on practical customer problems. So common things customers are struggling with in their daily use of Dynamics CRM or Dynamics 365 and Power Apps now, which is productivity, reducing clicks for very common things, anything documents as said, and more recently, but one that has very good momentum is around data storage and the costs associated to it, and helping customers keeping that under control. So yeah, over the years we now have, we had 7 solutions, now there's 6 solutions we sell on AppSource or via our website. And yeah, things are going well. So we are now close to 4,000 customers using our solutions as of today. Also 2025 was pretty good. We have been able to onboard almost 600 new customers to our products, and also welcome 50 new partners in our partner program.
And, that's very impressive because you're one of the most partner-friendly ISVs in the ecosystem today. How many partners have sold your products over the years? I know you told me this number. If you'd like to share it, I think it's very impressive.
Over those 20 years, we're getting close to 1,000 partner organizations who have sold our solutions once. Meanwhile, we are still very happy to have now 500 or more than 500 active partners who sold something in 2025. So that's very significant. So right now, I would say a solid 500 plus partners in our program.
Okay, congratulations on that. That's a big mark in our world. So let's talk a little bit why mscrm-addons is so partner-centric and focused. How has it been a help to you?
I would say being an ISV in this ecosystem, I would think you have to work via partners, right? They are the guys out in the field. They are implementing Dynamics CRM or Dynamics 365, and they get those requirements from the customers. So they need to know that there's a solution out there that can help them. And if there's a solution out there like ours, we try to make it really simple for them to make use of our offerings. So historically, we always went 100% partner in our go-to-market approach. A solid 95% plus of our revenue is generated via the channel. That was true since back in the days, and it's still true today. And I think the main learning was that we have to keep it simple. Not every partner wants the same depth of relationship, and that's perfectly fine. So our idea was, we want to keep it as simple as possible, which means we provide a lot of benefits to partners. And whenever they run into the need of a solution, or when they run into a problem where a solution can help, it should, be very simple. They can hit our website, they can download our solution, and they can get up and going in our partner program in minutes. There's no contracts, there's no minimum, no fees, but they get a lot of benefits. They get free licenses, free use of our products, access to our customer service team, customer success team, when it gets more complex. And then out of those benefits, they can make use of whatever is required or whatever they need at that very moment. So bottom line, and I would recommend this to everybody, just keep it simple for them. and don't introduce any hurdles.
Outstanding. So let's also talk about Microsoft's got a big push, at least in 2025, and I guarantee it's going to keep going in 2026, about becoming this frontier partner, somebody who's taking AI into their own business and using it and then adding it to their products. And I know you guys are getting deep on AI over at the mscrm-addons. So do you want to talk a little bit about your strategy for frontier partner?
So you mean frontier partner is kind of a new term, a popular one in the Microsoft world. So I admit I'm not 100% certain I fully understand what is meant by that, but I do know that it's frontier partners are the ones that have a very strong focus on AI, on anything they do, right? So for us, this means two things, and I think that's true for many. On one hand, it's the internal use of AI. So, we encourage our teams to play around with the different tools available and see how they can help in their daily lives. But secondly, and even more important, as you just said, we invested heavily in 2025, and it's one of our main investments going forward is AI readiness of our solutions. So we want to, the IP that our solutions provide, especially in the document generation and delivery side, we want to make it accessible to LLMs like Copilot, like ChatGPT, like Claude, anything out there, and basically enable customers to use our IP in the agents they use, in the agents they build, like in Copilot Studio. So where we are going is what we want to enable in the end is customers should be able to build agents that can use our IP to generate documents on demand. I think an easy example is a user just reading emails in Outlook or chatting in Teams. They should be able to generate and deliver a document on demand by simply asking the agent to do so in natural language, be it in Outlook or within Microsoft Teams. So that's what we are going for, and we did invest a lot. So we're working on an MCP server for Documents Core Pack that will enable the LLMs to better understand our tools and features available.
Okay, excellent. And I think that'll make your partner relationship even stronger when they can, look at your ISV product and work with it at that level. So Michael, there's also something else brewing at mscrm-addons. You're looking to take your Dataverse success and move it to a new Microsoft market. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, happy to. So as said, for the last 2 decades, we focused on dynamic CRM or customer engagement, but Business Central is something we looked into once in a while, but now it seems like, the natural next step that we need to take. And there's a couple of reasons for that. First, the momentum behind Business Central is very strong. As you know, Rick, we met at Directions EMEA at those Business Central events. There's a positive vibe, positive energy. The momentum is really strong. And there's a lot of innovation and GP deployments waiting to be migrated to BC. So I don't think the momentum will slow down anytime soon. And then combined with the fact that, within our partner ecosystem, we've got a good chunk of partners who also do Business Central. And they kept asking, hey, can you make your solution available for BC? And we kind of were hesitant. But due to this momentum and the growing need, I took the chance to speak to a lot of our top partners that also do BC to, just understand the challenges their customers are facing when it comes to documents and document processes in their BC implementations. And is there a gap that we could fill that makes it feasible for us to bring our, expertise when it comes to documents to the BC world? And luckily, I think we found that spot. So I think the most common pain point when it comes to layouts and documents in BC is the complexity of modifying them or creating or altering those layouts. So customers need to spend a lot of money in hiring highly skilled consultants to do so. Consultants, they need to spend a lot of time in basically firefighting layout issues with their customers, not a thing they want to do. So what we will do is, or what we try to do is kind of bring in the simplicity of Microsoft Word, a tool that anybody can use, but still support the complexity that is required within those reports on the Business Central side. So that's our approach. And yeah, it's not there yet. We're working on this. We're moving carefully, quality first. And what we do, and as said before, we are 100% partner driven. So even in this phase, we are working closely with a lot of partners to understand how this product should look like or needs to look like. So we are gathering more partner feedback with early alpha versions and beta versions, but we do plan to bring this to the market in 2026. We're targeting Q2 kind of, yeah. So that's definitely the most exciting thing coming up in 2026 and one of the major investments we're doing.
Okay, excellent. And I think you're on the right path with the growth of Business Central. Microsoft last year at EMEA, our Directions EMEA, said there were 50,000 BC customers. And as you said, we know there's a lot of NAV and a lot of GP customers sitting out there yet to be converted. So I think the BC partners are going to be very happy with mscrm-addons entrance into the market. It's going to make a job that was pretty tedious, and I think a lot of support for them a lot easier. So what else do we have going for 2026, Michael, that you'd like to talk about?
Yeah, as said, the two main areas we're investing in is AI readiness, our AI strategy, and Business Central. But of course, we also continue to serve our customer engagement market. So one of the key investments was definitely the click-try experience or the getting started experience. So we invested a lot in making it as easy as possible to get going. And we are very proud that basically for all of our solutions, you can hit our website and you're up and going in 15 minutes. And with Documents Core Pack, that's true for the attachment extractor. So really easy to get started. On our template design piece, so one of the key elements of Documents Core Pack is our Word integration that allows for easy document design. We brought that to a new technology. It's now an Office add-in that brings huge advantages. The most important one, definitely, it's no longer any kind of download, no local installation. You can go to the Office add-ins in your Word and activate the add-in. It takes seconds. And it's fully maintained by us, so you don't need to update or anything like that. So that was a huge investment, and we were very happy to release this version in fall 2025. So quite proud there. And then another thing that is becoming more and more important is definitely, the growing demands or expectations of our customers when it comes to security, availability, and performance. So we keep expanding our availability. We're now available in 16 regional data centers around the globe, with Canada West, New Zealand, Switzerland being the latest additions. And yeah, just, ensure that customers can continue to trust in our solutions to, be secure, and, cover things like data sovereignty, keep the data in the region, high performance and scalability by having everything close by. So I think that's another thing worth mentioning is the investment on that end.
And I think you're also investing in your coverage. So you've got pretty much a global team now covering the world to help support your partner efforts.
That is true, yeah. So we've got partner managers around the globe in the APAC region, North America, in our US office in Atlanta, Georgia, and then Europe. So we are almost 24/7 when it comes to supporting our partners in implementing our solutions or bringing our solutions to the market.
Okay, fantastic. And partners can reach out to you on LinkedIn, but you're going to be at some of the shows coming in 2026. Do you want to talk a little bit about where we can find you and mscrm-addons?
Oh yeah, we will be around again. So I think I just checked the calendar the other day. I think there's now 16 events that we are doing or that are already, booked in, starting with one in Canada, actually. So in Vancouver, the CPPS, Canadian Power Platform Summit. I think then afterwards, Dynamics Minds, a very popular one here in Europe, coming up later on. Then there's the European Power Platform Conference that we are doing, the Color Cloud in Germany. So I think that's the major European ones. And then once we hit fall, we've got the Community Summit, I think in Nashville, which I like a lot. And we've got the Power Platform Conference in Las Vegas coming up again. And then, so that's the ones we always did because, that's CE mainly. But then we will also be at BC shows. So we will be at Directions EMEA, Directions North America. So you will find us, I hope, on all the major events that are happening throughout the year. So we'll be busy.
All right, fantastic, Michael. The CRM partners know you and trust you and use your products. And I think 2026 is the year that the Business Central partners and Modern Work partners are going to discover your organization. So thank you for your time today, and we'll see you at the next conference.